From the heart of college football country, it's College Football Saturdays. Brought to you by Bluff City Media and powered by the good folks at Grind City Brewing. So crack open a cold one, get your tailgate ready, and join us as we dive into the biggest stories in college football.
You want drama? What's better than a game with everything to lose against a team that wants nothing more than for you to lose everything? College football rivalry week brings drama Hollywood wishes it could duplicate. And I'm a fan of Stranger Things, but it ain't got nothing on rivalry week. I'm talking about in-state rivals, bitter in-state foes. I'm talking about long-standing hatred, colleges or conference nemesis, marriages on the brink, trophies on the line. But most importantly, college football playoff ramifications that play heavily into January. Unfortunately, Hail State anyway has been belt to ass in Starkville, Mississippi today. I'll own that. Kamario Taylor is the truth, but he can't play defense. Congratulations to Ole Miss. You may be losing your coach, but you're heading to the college football playoff. On the heels of an 8-overtime thriller last year, we got Georgia Tech in Atlanta. Can Haynes King be the difference again this year, or will Georgia stamp their trip to the college football playoff? In the game in Ann Arbor this year, Ryan Day enters 1-4 against the Maize and Blue. Michigan has been able to get Ohio State to play their game, but this year is different. Julian Sayin has feasted on mediocre defenses this year. So can he air out that vaunted Michigan defense? Washington, in the midst of possibly losing their coach to Florida, looking to spoil Oregon's big bid for an at-large playoff appearance. On the Plains, where Black Magic thrives, Alabama and Auburn meet in the Iron Bowl, where hatred is a must in that rivalry. And the last 2 years, it has been Alabama Magic. Can Auburn reclaim some of that and find a way to spoil what's been a big season and DJ Durkin find himself a job? It's drama, it's hatred, it's bragging rights and pride, all rolled into 60 minutes. Records, rankings don't matter when rivals face off. And we have you covered in the midst of the biggest weekend in college football right here at Grind City Brewing with my guy, Kenny Stubblefield. Kenny, what's going on,
Dude,
brother?
it's good to be here with you, man. Usually I'm here, but I'm usually on the other side of the table hitting the ones and twos, making sure you and Drew don't go off the rails, you and Jared don't go off the rails, making sure everybody can hear your beautiful monologues.
I appreciate that.
It's become one of the more famous parts of Bluff City Media.
You know, I get a lot of hate from some people who have to sit on phone books up here when they're on the stage with me, but a lot of the people at large do give me some hype for it. I appreciate it. Today stumbled on some words, but we got through it, even though
I think it's fair that you stumbled on words today. I just had a text come through asking how dead inside is Rusty. How are you, brother?
You know, we got doubled up as we sit here. It's not looking good in Starkville, but like a couple things that I can appreciate, and we'll talk about that more here in a minute. But it's not totally unexpected. If you watch the $2 Sports Show this week, I thought that we could cover, but I didn't really give us a chance to win.
Yeah.
I said if Kamario Taylor plays, we'll be competitive. My confidence goes up, and that happened. We were competitive for a half, but like our defense is trash. We hired a special teams coordinator to coach our defense, Coleman Huxler. We were one of the worst defensive last year. We were probably like 130 out of 136 last year, and we're like 118 this year. Like we've made some improvements, but it ain't been great. And so we'll get to more of that here in a minute. But I'm doing good. It's Grind City Brewing. I'm working on a sipping in the darkness here. I can't be much better. It's a beautiful day in the most beautiful city in the world, and I got my guy Kenny Stubblefield here, man. Like couldn't ask for better than that.
Yeah, like this is the perfect day to do the show because number one, it is the Egg Bowl. We've been hyping the Egg Bowl. We've been talking about the Egg Bowl, what the craziness that is the game, plus the all the drama behind.
Which we've had extracurriculars. We've already had 2 fights today. Lane Kiffin, there was a little one. There was a big one right before half. Lane Kiffin, whose team threw the first punch, whose coaches were the first one on the field, threw shade at Mississippi State and Zach Selman, trying to blame it on us. Yeah. And the most narcissistic move from the most narcissistic guy in college football. Yeah, no, I digress.
He's a wild dude.
Yeah.
But when I woke up this morning, I was like, man, it's going to be cold. And like, it's going to be cold outside. It has turned into a beautiful day. Like this lighting that you're seeing, we do have some lights up here in front of us, but they're not really doing a lot. It is the gorgeous Memphis sunlight that's coming through this beautiful building here at Grind City Brewing. Y'all need to be out here. Yeah. The games are going to be going nonstop. You got Ole Miss, Mississippi State still happening. Then you've got some of the bigger games, the rivalry games tonight. It's the place to be. 76 Waterworks Way. Come out or Waterworks Avenue, Come check it out, man. It's a lot of fun.
There was a good crowd here for the State Ole Miss game. It kind of swelled up. It was a decent little crowd, but obviously as the game is winding down, we're at that shift change part, right, where you got Mississippi State fans kind of funneling out. A few Ole Miss fans still here enjoying the game. We got more to come because there are, like Kenny said, big games. At 2:30, they got Georgia Tech on the TV with sound. Tonight at 6:30, they got Texas and Texas A&M, which is another big rivalry game going on this weekend. We'll talk about a lot of that and more here after this commercial break. But if y'all are still here, y'all are hanging out and you're on the fence, like it is time to come on out. There's great football the rest of the afternoon. Again, they got plenty of cold beer. There is Christmas decorations up. I'm looking at snowflakes and garland and a polar bear. This is the place to be. Get out of the house, Kenny. You know, at this point, you've had your turkey. You want to get out. Leftovers. You need to get out of the house. Yeah. I'm telling you as a PSA, if you haven't moved from the couch since yesterday, now's your time. Yeah. Take your sweatpants off, put on your jeans, and come on out to Ground City Brewing, right?
I tried a caramel apple cider a few minutes ago. My God.
I told you. It's like dessert.
Dessert with an edge. Like, it is dangerous, bro. Like how dangerous that drink can be.
So if you watch the $2 Sports Show, that's the cider I was hyping up a few weeks ago. I was here having a meeting with Zach and some of the guys, and Hop, the brewmaster here, had just finished it, and he brought us out a sample. God. And they're like, oh, it tastes like a Jolly Rancher. It tastes like this. And when he gave it to me, you're old enough, you might remember these. When I was a kid at Halloween, there was these caramel apple suckers.
Oh, yeah.
There was the green with the that caramel would pull your teeth out and try to chew on it as hard as I'll get out. Yeah. But it tastes exactly like those suckers. I was instantly in the 5th grade when I took a sip of that, eating one of those suckers.
Phenomenal.
Oh, it was amazing. Yep. Amazing. But on the other side of this commercial break, I'm going to ask Kenny. He asked me how I'm doing. I'm going to ask him how he's doing after that Navy-Memphis game yesterday. We'll recap the Egg Bowl and much more right after this break.
And whatever, I get it. It's year 7. We've heard it a lot, but literally everything is always the same. It's the same quotes after we lose a game. It's the same quotes after we win a game. It's the same quotes on his coach's show when somebody's questionable injury-wise. Oh, well, they need to prepare for 3 quarterbacks. We're probably going to play all 3 of them. It's the same freaking every time I see a hype video from the locker room and he's giving a pregame speech, it's the same damn pregame speech. For 60 minutes, relentless effort, do your job. It's the same thing every time. Freaking ChatGPT a hype speech or some shit. I'm so sick of hearing the same stuff. We should have got rid of him 3 years ago.
Oh,
whoa. I don't know about that.
Whoa.
I'm not going to go there.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with your hosts, Trey Lasley and TJ Willis, every Tuesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. In the heart of the Highland Strip for 27 years, Trilogy Tattoo has helped tell stories for Memphians for generations. Located at 530 South Highland, Richie and his team are waiting to help you tell yours.
From tattoos to piercings, your body art should be as unique as you are. Voted a Memphis Flyer top 3 tattoo shop in the city of Memphis since day 1. Your story will be safe here at Trilogy Tattoo.
Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11, and 3 to 11 on Sundays. They have convenient times waiting on you. Let Trilogy Tattoo help you tell your story. In Memphis, we know a thing or two about resilience. From the grindhouse to the Delta, we protect what's ours. But when pests invade your home, it's time to fight back. Grade A Pest knows how to handle what crawls, flies, and bites. With local experience and guaranteed results.
I'm Reggie with Grade A Pest Control. We service the Memphis metro area. That also includes DeSoto and Fayette County as well.
Grade A Pest has the entire Mid-South covered. So if bugs and pests put you to the test, let Grade A solve your problem.
Welcome back to College Football Saturdays on this Friday here at Grind City Brewing. I am Rusty Buckets, the 2 Buck Sports Show, who is the only one brave enough to show up today on the day of the Egg Bowl here to hang out with y'all. My guy, Kenny Stubblefield.
Wait a second. So you're a Mississippi State fan.
Yep. Graduate.
You are co-host of the 2 Buck Sports Show.
Yep.
There's another Buck.
Mm-hmm.
Who is he a fan of?
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. And guess where is he right now?
He's probably sitting at home in his stretchy pants.
In his stretchy pants.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. What he's doing is he's in the message boards or he's in the comment section talking.
Yeah, talking a lot of noise for somebody sitting on the couch. I'm the man in the arena here, right?
Yes,
I am
sir.
the guy who showed up knowing, I told you on the 2 Buck Sports Show on Friday or on Wednesday, it's going to be like, it could go belt to ass. I thought if Kamario Taylor played, we'd have a lot more of an opportunity, which we'll talk about that more here in a minute. But just know, I've got a microphone so I can tell this story.
Yeah, tell the story.
I just told Kenny off air. When Mississippi State won the College World Series 2021, it was a great time in my life.
Yes, it was.
And Drew Gann did not return my text or calls for basically a week.
A week?
A week.
Why do you think that's the case?
He's a front runner.
He's a front runner?
Because when Ole Miss won the College World Series, and he called me, I had COVID. Kenny, I was laid up on a couch in my apartment in Pawleys Island, South Carolina with COVID, just laying there. And Drew calls me from the stadium.
Yeah.
Did I send it to voicemail?
No, what'd you do?
Absolutely. I answered that thing, and I said, hey. And all I heard was cheering and yelling in the background. And I just let it go. And now partly was I didn't have enough energy to end the call, but I was just there, and I listened to it. So just know, of the 2 Buck Sports Show, one of us is willing to be the man in the arena.
I just, he put out and I just want to call BS on something that was put out on the 2 Buck Sports Show this week. He said that if they lost this game, right, to the Egg Bowl against Mississippi State, that Lane would be no longer welcome in Oxford. What do you think about that?
I ain't buying it. I ain't buying it because them fools are going to be elated that he chose them over. Because what it's going to be is, instead of this sad sob story, which we'll start with Mississippi State Ole Miss. We're already in it. The game's almost over. We'll talk about Navy and Memphis here in just a minute.
Let's do it.
But what it's going to be, it's going to be a complete 180, and it's going to be a recruiting ploy for Ole Miss. At the end of the day, Lane Kiffin's going to come out and say, if he stays, and I'm not saying he's going to stay, I still think there's a high chance he goes to LSU, but he's going to come out and say, I chose Ole Miss.
That's the storyline.
As the program over
100%.
Florida, over LSU, over the NFL, over coaching, whatever. You need to choose Ole Miss too. That's 100% going to be the spin from Keith Carter, from Lane Kiffin, and from every single LSU fan or Ole Miss fan. They're going to be saying, we are the blue blood now because he chose us over LSU and Florida, Kenny.
Yeah. He said, Drew said he'd be lying.
Buddy, we've got receipts, so you better not change that tune because we've got the receipts. Brother.
I look at this game, even before the game, they started to try to change the narrative of like, we spoke to Keith Carter and we still think he's coming and Lane wants to do it. I'm like, dude, this is all self-preservation for Ole Miss. That's all that it was, because in the end, like the fact that Ole Miss is now up 38-19 in the fourth quarter and it looks like they're gonna, I think we can be frank about it. Ole Miss is a better team than Mississippi State this year.
Sure.
Like, we can be frank. They're good. They are a top probably 7 to 10 team in this country.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
In college football. And so the idea that all of this drama happened is really quite disrespectful to what Ole Miss had done this year. The football players had done this year in terms of being one of the top 10 teams in the country.
As Ole Miss is taking a knee, final score 38-19 in Starkville. Ole Miss wins another Egg Bowl on the road against Mississippi State. It's the ultimate narcissistic move. It's the ultimate Lane Kiffin move, where he's going to make it all about himself and not about the team. Yeah. We've lost the fact that not only Kejuan Lacey at running back should have been in the Heisman candidacy,
right,
but Trinidad Chambliss transferring in from Paris State could be a legitimate Heisman Trophy candidate. Like, there are legit players on this team. This is the first 11-win regular season in program history.
Unbelievable.
In program history. And what are we talking about? What are we leading the show with? What is everybody else talking about
We're talking about Lane Kiffin, or whether or not he's going to be there tomorrow.
Yeah, should I stay or should I go Kiffin? That's his theme song, and they should play it every time he comes on camera. And that's what we're talking about instead. And we're talking about it with people who are going to change their song and dance the minute he decides to come back, and going to be over the moon that he chose them over these other programs, and still miss the fact that we're talking about that instead of the great season they put together.
The storylines for Ole Miss this year are abundant, right? Like the Kewan Lacey kid has been amazing. Has been an amazing college football player. Trinidad Chambliss,
great story.
The story of him on a plane to go sign to play for another university, turning around and going to Oxford to sign to be a backup quarterback.
Sight unseen. Basically, sight unseen.
Right.
Like Lane Kiffin just called him up, said, come play for us.
Come play for us. To be able to learn the system the way that he did, to come in for a struggling Austin Simmons, to come in and play the way that he did. And truthfully, if Trinidad had been the starter coming out of the preseason, he probably would be in the Heisman. He'd be going to New York City.
No doubt in my mind.
And so the storylines are abundant for Ole Miss. They've been awesome. And let's be frank about it. They deserve to be good. Like, it's a good team.
I hate Ole Miss worse than anything. If they played ISIS, give me a burger, because I'm all in, and I hate Ole Miss. But this has been an incredible run for them in what is a less talented team that they had last year.
Right.
Austin Simmons was a great quarterback, and Trinidad Chambliss stepped in and took his job. Simmons goes down with an injury. Chambliss takes over, and they never look back. We even had a little inside baseball here. One of our on-air talents was saying that he would still go with Austin Simmons today.
Yeah.
And Chambliss just continued to play winning football. Got a big win today over in-state arch rival Mississippi State. And to kind of talk about the game a little bit, Kamario Taylor did get the start today for Mississippi State. And I said on multiple shows this week that if he did, then my confidence level is going up by 30-40%, because what Kamario Taylor can do is everything Blake Shapen couldn't do. He can run the ball. We saw that with a big 50-yard scramble for a touchdown. He can throw the ball really well. He got a little amped up today and got a little hot on a few of his passes. And so, he's a true freshman. But if we can stick around, and Drew texted me this, I'm going to give him credit for this, but if I am Coach Levy and the Mississippi State Athletic Program, I am taking his phone away. Our season's over. We're going to finish 5-7. We might get a sympathy bid to a bowl if there's not enough 6-6 teams. But I'm taking his phone away.
Yeah.
I'm locking it in a lockbox, and I'm burying that joker out behind the stadium in Starkville until next season, because that dude is the future of this program. You got to be pretty impressed with Coach Levy's willingness to go with finally Kamario Taylor, yes. Right? Like, you've got to be like, it's got to be such a tough decision to move away from a guy who's been with your program for so many years. Yeah. Who you trust, a guy who's a senior. He's a 6-year senior. He's been with us for 2 years. Right. Levy specifically brought him in to run this program, and like it was a big decision. And Levy stuck by his guns when Blake Shapen threw that interception against Florida, fumbled the Texas game away. Again, we'll get to the more of those reasons here in a minute. But stuck by his guy, and then this week, even on Monday, went to Blake Shapen's defense and said he's going to be our guy. Yeah. Only to then turn around and start Kamario Taylor, which gave us the juice we needed. Said himself that the locker room was much more amped. It gave the team a lot of juice, and we came out in the first half and played that way. Oh, yeah. The problem is Kamario Taylor plays one position, it's quarterback. Right. Buddy, we couldn't stop a nose, but we couldn't stop like Starkville High School today. That's been the problem all year. We hired a special teams coordinator, outside linebacker coach. He kind of wore a couple hats under Nick Saban and Kalen DeBoer in Alabama. And he's just not the answer, man. Like, from the beginning, we were going with a light box, a 3-man front against a team who has Kewan Lacey, who is one of the best, if not the best, running back in the country. And this guy is going to run 3-down linemen, and we've struggled stopping the run. Ole Miss came into this game as the 32nd best rushing attack in the country. We're the 112th rushing defense in the country. That's the ball game right there. Yeah. And unless if we get serious about winning, and if Jeff Levy's serious about keeping his job, Coleman Huxler does not need to be our DC next year. Yeah. Do you think what do you, as a State fan, like, what are your thoughts coming out of the Egg Bowl? You're obviously more pleased and more excited about where the state program is compared to where it has been, right? Like, 100%. It's on a nice trajectory moving forward. Won our first conference game in 2 full seasons this year. Really felt like that Arizona State win was the one that kind of got us out of that Mike Leach kind of fog that we've had since he unfortunately passed away. It gave us an opportunity to be a real program again. And again, like, most teams picked us to win 3-4 ball games this year. We went 5-7. That's a hell of a turnaround after winning 2 games last year, 2 games the year before, being non-competitive in those 2 full seasons. to being competitive in big games. We were in it with Texas into overtime. We were competitive with Georgia for a half. We were competitive with Ole Miss for a half. And so, like, this team is so much better. The future is very bright, but I need Jeff Levy to make some grown man decisions, including finding a new defensive coordinator.
That's right. That's right.
But, Kenny, I'm not the only one up here with a little bit of heartbreak, man. Like, you know, we all saw the commercials. There's some discourse in the Memphis Tigers fan as we have a little breakage here at Grind City Brewing. Opa, as they say in the restaurants business. But, Kenny, talk to me about what Memphis Tiger fans are feeling after yet another disappointing loss for the Tigers.
I think there's a mix between pissed and a mix between apathetic, which might be the scariest place you can possibly be as an administration, as a school, as a fan base, is a level of apathy about your program.
Absolutely.
I'd rather be pissed or rather be excited and extremely excited about what's going on.
Feel something,
right? Apathy is not what you want. And so obviously the Tigers were out of the running to play for the conference championship for the sixth straight year under Ryan Silverfield. They've never sniffed, not even gotten close to the conference championship. They might have not even finished higher than fourth in the conference since he's been here. They've won quite a few games. Yeah. And that's kind of where you hold your head high.
Bowl, like you've done some things.
Well, that was under under Norvell.
That was right before him.
Ryan Silverfield coached the Cotton Bowl as an interim, but he got the job immediately after that. And they haven't been to I think the biggest bowl they've been to since was the Liberty Bowl
against
Iowa State in Memphis.
Sure.
And so, man, I have been tooting the horn and kind of been on the bandwagon of in this day and age of college sports, especially with the transfer portal.
No, it was in fact not my spirit. I'm still in good spirits over here because we're having good beers with my guy Kenny here at Grind City Brewing.
That's right. The fact that you are you're in the middle of, you're in this like where you're having to like revamp your entire roster almost every single year, 70 something new players. You know, you've got all the NIL money, you've got the portal situations, all that kind of stuff. I'm a big fan of continuity.
Sure.
Right. And I think I've said this before on the network. Ryan Silverfield is a fantastic program builder. The program, but what I mean by that is the building of the program outside of what's on the field. Even though the team has been successful to a large degree, if a team comes in and plays against Ryan Silverfield and they are above 500, he has got a bad record, and I don't have the numbers right here in front of me, but it's not great. Like he doesn't
like
beat
12 and 28.
Yeah, he doesn't beat teams that have plus, that are above 500 in terms of winning. And so, as much as a fan as I am of continuity and stability, Rusty, my biggest concern is that we're being as 12 and 20. Roman Cleary said.
Yeah, 12 and 20. I just found out. Shout out Roman.
Shout out Roman.
I was close.
Yeah, you were close. As much as I enjoy continuity and stability, my fear is that if you stay with Ryan Silverfield as the head coach, are you being content and stable around mediocrity?
Yeah.
And that is not where University of Memphis has zero leeway to be okay with being mediocre.
Given the momentum that Memphis has had, you've had 3 straight coaches that have really pulled out some great seasons. Fuentes was good, Norvell was good. You got Silverfield that's been good. Memphis is at a kind of a tipping point here.
Yeah,
you got a choice to make. Like you said, are you okay winning 8 ball games every year but losing to food, as in the Rice Owls, losing games like you lost to UAB this year? And that's Ryan Silverfield's MO. At least it has been, right? Like he'll come out and they'll play well against Arkansas, beat Arkansas. Like they'll have some of those games, but there's always that mind-numbingly frustrating loss every single year on the schedule.
Yeah.
And in a season where teams are no longer choosing to be okay with mediocre, like Florida, like LSU, is it time to pull the trigger? Or do you wait a season until next offseason, right? Because this coaching cycle is going to be chaotic.
Yeah.
The decision might be made for you if Ryan Silverfield gets another job. It doesn't sound like he's going to get the Arkansas job like was rumored. I think that's going to go more towards, it's looking like Alex Golish, but that's not official yet.
That's not official yet.
Like,
I think it's official, but I don't think he
it's
wanted
official,
it out
it's
at the time.
unofficially official.
Yeah.
But like, is this a situation where you're okay with somebody poaching your coach?
Yeah, well, Memphis has experienced this before in the basketball side of the situation. Josh Pastner was an incredibly successful coach for the early portion of his career at the University of Memphis. Brand new coach, first-time head coach, was the a coordinator or an assistant coach for John Calipari.
Yep.
And then, popular sentiment being what it is, like this guy, the players love him. He's a recruiter. He's this, that, and the third. He got the job.
Yeah.
And for the first couple of seasons, he did fantastic. But then after, multiple back-to-back seasons of not doing well, it got to the point where it was like, man, should Memphis look to move on from him? And then all of a sudden, Georgia Tech comes running into town and says, we want him. And so they, instead of having to fire him, they gave him another job. And so this could be a situation like that. And I think a lot of Memphis fans were wondering, would Arkansas come and get him, right? Like, and if that's the case, then some Memphis fans are like, hell yeah, like that's awesome.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like that's going to happen.
No, unfortunately, it looks like you're going to have to make that decision.
It looks like you're going to have to be men about this and make the decision.
Are you going to pull that trigger right now as a Memphis? If you let's put you in the AD's position, given the jobs that are already open, given the coaching marking being what it is, are you willing to fire your coach right now?
Yeah, I think I'm not. What the market is scares me. Like what the market is, because then it's like you don't want to, especially with transfer portal windows opening and all this kind of stuff, you don't want to be left without a head coach. Like you don't want to be in a flux position because you've got all these power forward, opportunities that coaches are going to be waiting on to figure out like what they're going to do.
Yeah.
So that part makes me nervous. The part that makes me more nervous is that you have a ton of corporate backing. You have a ton of
There's a lot of money in Memphis.
A lot of money that is flowing through the University of Memphis right now to help build up this football program.
Yeah.
And it makes me more nervous and especially with conference realignment talk consistently always happening, being content with being mediocre gets you left behind.
Yes,
and
100%.
And that's where I am. It causes people to lose faith in what you're doing as an administration and in your program as a whole. So
there was a succession plan though in place, right? When Fuentes was out, it was Mike Norvell. When Mike Norvell moved on, it's Ryan Silverfield. I don't know that there's that guy right now on the staff. I may be wrong, but I don't follow Memphis Tigers close, but I don't feel like there's that dude on the staff like Ryan Silverfield was.
Yeah.
And so you would have to look for an outside hire, but you're competing against, a ton of open jobs in the market right now.
Right.
And instead of getting your first pick, you might have to settle for, especially this late in the coaching cycle, which college football is what it is. And right now it's considered late in the coaching cycle.
Yeah.
You're going to have to kind of take what's left.
Yeah. The Fuente to Norvell wasn't a succession. It was the University of Memphis hired a firm to outside source it. And then went and got a young and up and coming hot offensive coordinator in Mike Norvell out of Arizona State.
He was kind of known.
He was known. Absolutely known. But in terms of the succession, like Norvell to Silverfield was a succession. No search done, nothing like that. It was basically akin to what Zach Kleiman did with Tomas Isolo.
We saw how well that's lowered.
And we've seen how the transition. Yeah. Ryan Silverfield is a solid, decent head coach. It might be time for Memphis to move on.
If I'm Memphis, I'm giving you one more year.
You think so?
I think you give him one more year.
And I'm okay with that.
He won 8 games this year.
Yeah.
Is it what you expected? No.
Bro, he lost 4 in the conference.
He lost 4 in the conference. That's unacceptable. And I think you have that conversation as the athletic director. You set Ryan Silverfield down and say, look, man, you won 8 games. That's awesome. Congratulations. You lost to UAB after they fired Trent Dilfer. You lost to an interim head coach. You lost to a Navy team who had really no ambition at this point. It's time to or get off the pot. And I think you give him one more season because you don't want to be involved in this chaotic coaching carousel, which we'll get to more here in a minute.
Yep.
You want to be on the outside looking in.
You
don't want to participate in this one.
That could be a portion of it. I also think a big part of it could be Ed Scott has to make this decision because Ryan Silverfield is not his guy.
No.
He didn't hire Ryan Silverfield. He inherited Ryan Silverfield. And so there is a portion of that too where this is going to be a big decision for Ed Scott to make.
Yep.
What he wants to do, where he wants to take this program, and does he see that even though it's not his guy, could Ryan be the guy to bring him there? I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Absolutely. But we're going to take a quick commercial break. That's our games we're going to recap so far. We've got 3 big ones to talk about. We're going to talk about 4. We got 3 that we're going to highlight on. We are going to mention A&M and Texas because it is kind of a massive game. Yeah. But we're going to talk about 3 games with massive playoff implications right after this commercial break.
In the heart of the Highland Strip for 27 years, Trilogy Tattoo has helped tell stories for Memphians for generations. Located at 530 South Highland, Richie and his team are waiting to help you tell yours.
From tattoos to piercings, your body art should be as unique as you are. Voted a Memphis Flyer top 3 tattoo shop in the city of Memphis since day one. Your story will be safe here at Trilogy Tattoo.
Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11, and 3 to 11 on Sundays. They have convenient times waiting on you. Let Trilogy Tattoo help you tell your story.
Zach Edey, as you mentioned, how does the game look faster when you throw in a 7'4" giant? It doesn't make sense, like logistically. And also, it's insane how well he fits in this offense right now and how he's moving faster after the surgery. And it's because I really think he's more confident in trusting that ankle than he was last year.
You think so? Yeah, I mean, you got to remember that injury, the surgery didn't come because of an injury. It came because they were trying to stabilize from like future possible injuries, right? It's really just about gravity. When Zach Edey's in the game, there is so much gravity that's forced on him because, number one, he's a skilled offensive player. There's just so much attention that has to be placed on Zach Edey that it opens the floor up for everybody else. Tune into the post-game bounce live on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel immediately after every Memphis Grizzlies game for instant reactions and breakdowns. In Memphis, we know a thing or two about resilience. From the grindhouse to the Delta, we protect what's ours. But when pests invade your home, it's time to fight back. Grade A Pest knows how to handle what crawls, flies, and bites. With local experience and guaranteed results.
I'm Reggie with Grade A Pest Control. We service the Memphis metro area. That also includes DeSoto and Fayette County as well.
Grade A Pest has the entire Mid-South covered. So if bugs and pests put you to the test, let Grade A solve your problem.
Welcome back to College Football Saturdays on Friday here at Grind City Brewing. Hanging out here, having some brews, my guy Kenny Stubblefield. We've talked about the games that were. Kenny, we got some massive games coming up this weekend, dude.
Yes, dude. The rivalry week is fun.
It is, man, and there's a lot of games of implication. We will start first and foremost. We'll talk about real quick, briefly. I didn't give Kenny this for the notes. We are going to talk about Texas and Texas A&M. A&M comes to Austin. It is a massive game for both teams, right? Texas doesn't really have playoff implications anymore, but they defend home field really well. They play well at home. Sark is seeking that first, signature win this year. Arch Manning has gone for over 300 in 3 out of his last 4 games. Y'all are welcome, Texas fans. Mississippi State scrambled his eggs at about the 20-yard line. Sent that dude out with a concussion. He's been awesome since then. But will A&M be A&M of old, right? Mike Elko has this team undefeated. They've been against the ropes against South Carolina. They have won big. They've won close. A&M has stayed undefeated. And their path to the SEC championship runs through Austin, where they are only a 3.5-point favorite.
Is that spread, that 3.5-point spread, is that because of Texas and because it's in Austin?
So if you listen to Josh Pate is a big college football guy. He does a lot with FanDuel as well, just like we do. And he said that the model loves Texas, and they have all year long. They've never really discounted Texas, whereas you and I and other people who watch would, because they weren't great. They were playing close games. They were losing games they shouldn't have. They got 3 losses on the season. But the model loves Texas.
Yep.
You pair that with all the hype for Arch Manning, and FanDuel's model loves Texas. That's one. Texas plays really well at home. They don't travel super well.
That's right.
But they play really well at home. And so that's part of it. At a 3.5 point, A&M's a 3.5 point favorite on the road. That means on a neutral field, this would be a pick'em.
This would be a pick'em game. Yeah, this is the one, and not to bury the lead on like all the other games we're going to talk about. This is the one game that I look at and I go, the underdog could absolutely win this game.
I mean, I would not be surprised if tomorrow night we're talking about A&M getting their first loss in a rivalry game against Texas. A&M would still play for a conference championship. They would still be on their way to the college football playoff based on strength of schedule. I do think that A&M would still play. There is a path still there for Georgia and for Ole Miss to get there.
Right.
But if A&M wins and Alabama wins, that's your SEC championship.
That's your championship. And that's a badass championship game.
That'd be an incredible game.
Yeah.
But A&M just needs to go take care of business. I don't know. Like, I picked Texas on the 2 Buck Sports Show on Wednesday because I just feel like Arch is peaking at the right time. The defense is getting better. Maybe that's me discounting A&M and punishing them for the sins of Jimbo Fisher. But I do think Texas has a real shot in this game.
Yeah, I think you're talking about Marcel Reed, the quarterback for Texas A&M. You're talking about Arch Manning, who, when the beginning part of this year, there were question marks around whether or not it was like, should they replace him?
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Like, because of how bad he was playing.
Real quick, Georgia Tech and Georgia playing right now in Atlanta. Georgia with a massive turnover. They never turned the ball over. Gunnar Stockton just threw an interception. Tech has the ball in business against the Dogs.
Okay. We need to talk about this game in a second. Yeah. But Arch Manning has been showing a lot these last 3 or 4 games.
He stepped up, man.
And so there is still earlier on in the season with Texas, was it because Arch wasn't living up to the expectation, or was it more than that?
It was more than that. Their defense wasn't what we thought they were. They were good in the first game against Ohio State.
Right.
They've had their moments, but that secondary was not as good as they thought it was going to be. Their front 7 has not been that great. Texas is not the defense of old that we've come to expect from Texas. So it's a little bit of both. I think Arch was overhyped.
Yes.
And it's not his fault. He was starting his first true college games after basically playing like mid-tier high school football in Louisiana.
Right.
Taking over for Quinn Ewers this year. Like, there was going to be some growing pains. And so the preseason hype, Drew and I talked about it a lot. Like, neither of us were super big on it and we thought it wasn't warranted. And he just lived up to that. So I think part of it was there was too high expectation on Arch, but a lot of it's on the Texas defense for not being what we thought they were going to be.
All right, so like we're talking about this game. Let's say we look up tonight when the game is done and Texas A&M has won this game. How has Texas A&M won this game?
So they control the line of scrimmage, which they can. Their offensive line is really good. Texas' defensive line is not what we thought they were. They control the line of scrimmage, protected Marcel Reed, and they established a running game. That's been a big part of it for A&M, is they hadn't got as much out of their running backs as you would expect on an undefeated team like this.
Right.
And then 2, like you get after Arch Manning. They've got one of the best linebackers in the country in Taryn York, number 21. He's been a massive stalwart in the middle of that defense for the Aggies, and I think that he has a big game tonight. You got to have that from him, and you got to have pressure on Arch. But the biggest thing is just controlling the line of scrimmage, and that goes on both sides, right? You establish your ability to run, and you protect Marcel Reed. You put pressure on Arch Manning and force him into bad decisions.
All right, let's go the opposite side with Texas. If Texas wins this game tonight, what are the reasons why?
Turnovers. You have to win the turnover battle if you're going to beat A&M. Marcel Reed is a great quarterback, but he can get sloppy with the football. He can make errant passes. He doesn't make the best decisions all the time. They have weapons on top of weapons, including former Mississippi State wide receiver Mario Craver. They've got speed to burn. But if you can force him into turnovers, and Texas has been okay at that this year, but if you can make Marcel Reed make mistakes, you can win this football game.
Man, and then just not discounting the fact that this is, as somebody who lived in Texas for a few years of my life because of my dad's job, like the Texas A&M Texas rivalry is unreal.
Huge.
is massive.
And we deserve that as a country to have that back. Now that
Yes.
Texas is back in the SEC,
Yes.
that is a rivalry that we needed. And it is a deep rivalry. I expect this to be a very close game. I think this is going to be a good old-fashioned slobber knocker, as you might have heard around some old tables for sure.
Yep, I love it, man.
But speaking of slobber knockers, man, we've got Georgia Tech on the big screen here at Grind City Brewing as more people are coming up, grabbing some beers and settling in for what's a beautiful day here in downtown Memphis, Tennessee. Georgia Tech live right now. It is 0-0, but Georgia Tech just forced the first turnover of the game and a massive interception for the Yellow Jackets, who are in business in plus territory. Kenny, this is a game last year that we saw go to 8 overtimes. 8 overtimes. And Haynes King was a big part of that. They live and die with Haynes King, who accounted for like 65% of their offense this year. He runs the ball, he throws the ball, he protects the football. Georgia Tech needs this game to stay relevant in the college football playoff. They are 9-2 in the ACC. And, buddy, you have to be a math major at Harvard or MIT to figure out the ACC championship picture.
Unbelievable.
It is wild if y'all watch the Daily Grind.
Daily Grind walked through it. It was I was like, what the hell are y'all talking about?
They showed, like, they talked through a lot of that today, and it is just like there was statistics that made my head spin.
Yeah.
But Georgia Tech needs this win. They would go in, you would have 10-2 Georgia, 10-2 Georgia Tech heading into the college football playoff final weekend to project who's going to be there. It doesn't matter for conference play. It helps for overall. But the ACC is a mess, and I don't know that anybody is really good. But if the Yellow Jackets can get a win today, it would help, obviously, supplant them as a legitimate conference and might help them down the road get maybe 1 or 2 more teams up. Like, I don't think you're going to see more than 2 ACC teams, but this would go a long way in helping them get that second.
Yeah, and Georgia is a really good team this year. But they're not the Georgia of old.
Right. They're peaking at the right time. This is not the same Georgia defense that we're used to. There's no Nakobe Dean walking through. There's no Jordan Davis walking through. Like, this is not the same Georgia defense that we're used to. They're better, but they don't get pressure on the quarterback, and they don't force as many turnovers as they used to. But what you're seeing is this Georgia team is getting right at the right time. They're 10-1. Their only loss was early to Alabama, and since then they've beat the brakes off of everybody. I know, I'm a Mississippi State fan. We hung with them for a quarter and a half. But this Georgia team is talented.
Yes.
But they need this win. They need this win to kind of stay in the mix. At 10-2, I still think they get in because the SEC's been kind of deep this year.
Right.
But it would go a long way for Georgia as well, just like it would for Tech to get this win today.
Who benefits the most if Georgia loses tonight in the SEC?
So I think it would further help Ole Miss to get a higher seed.
Yeah,
I do. After beating rival Mississippi State today, they got a good win over us today in Starkville. I think it would help Ole Miss in kind of seeding, especially with the committee kind of wavering on Ole Miss a little bit. If Lane Kiffin leaves, I think if Georgia loses here, that gives them a little oomph to kind of move up a little bit as an 11-1 team versus a 10-2 Georgia team.
Yep.
But the Ramblin' Wreck need this win to stay relevant on the season. I don't like. Again, I'm not going to sit here. I'm not a math major. I'm not going to sit here and talk about ACC. Like the conference championship picture, because I'm pulling it up right now, and it is like multiple scrolls deep on the ACC website. Like, I mean, look at all this.
Yeah, it's wild.
Like Georgia Tech, if they can clinch a spot in the championship. Again, this is not a conference game, so it doesn't truly matter, but they need help. They need Pitt to win with a Virginia or SMU loss, or they need Miami to win with an SMU, Duke, UVA loss. Or like, there's just multiple scenarios for them to get there. Miami's is about 10 bullet points deep. And so that's where, like, Miami, it's not a true rivalry game. They play Pittsburgh today. Like, I really don't know what's going to shake out in the ACC. I don't think anybody does.
Right.
But from a national standpoint, from a college football playoff, Georgia Tech needs this win to stay relevant for at least an at-large bid. And then hopefully they can get into the conference championship.
It's looking like a fun game. I mean, right now it's still 0-0 with, like, and my eyes are – is it 9 minutes left? How many minutes is left in the first quarter?
You don't ask me to lie. 2 minutes and
2 minutes and 41 seconds. Yeah, that's right.
In the first quarter. Again, last year we went to 8 overtimes to get this decided. Haynes King, like, is still sore from that game meeting he took last year. But we're set up for yet another incredible rivalry game there. But, buddy, there are few that mean more than the Iron Bowl right now in Auburn, Alabama. Our guy, Zach Callahan.
Is he there?
He is there.
Oh, my God.
He was live from Auburn, Alabama on our show on Friday, hanging out with us, talking about this game. And, like, this is the 90th iteration of the Iron Bowl. with some of the biggest implications we've seen. We have a precedence here.
Oh
Kenny.
my gosh.
In 2002, an unranked Auburn team jumped out 17-0 on the number 9 ranked Crimson Tide en route to a 17-7 win over the Dennis Franchione-led Crimson Tide. It's the only time in the history that an unranked Auburn team beat a top 10, top 15 Alabama team, and they have the opportunity to do it again today. Because this game matters, man. Alabama is a 5.5-point road favorite at Auburn on FanDuel. The last 2 wins for Alabama in Auburn have come by a combined 5 points.
Oh my gosh.
This game is going to mean so many things, not only for the conference. For Alabama, it's a win-you're-in type situation. Auburn's 5-7. Alabama's got the one conference loss being to Oklahoma. They got a loss to Florida State early in the season. Alabama wins and they're in. They play for the SEC championship. At that point, you're also in the college football playoff because, buddy, if they leave out the SEC championship runner-up, say they play A&M and lose, they will riot. I mean, there will be a like Alabama fans,
and deservedly so,
sure,
right?
They may not can count, but they will riot.
They will riot.
Absolutely.
They'll burn shit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, absolutely. And Auburn has a fighting chance here, Kenny. In the last 2 games, Ty Simpson has 5 turnovers.
Man.
He had 3 against Oklahoma that cost him that game. He had 2 in the first half against Eastern Illinois before they put them to bed and they played the backups. But he's not the Ty Simpson we saw because he played poorly against Florida State, only to be probably, if not the, he might have been top 2, not 2 best quarterbacks in the country for the vast majority of the season. But Oklahoma gave you the playbook. You sell out to stop the run and make Ty Simpson beat you and then hope for those turnovers.
I am so interested in this. I'm interested in the major storylines that come out of these kind of games. And I have friends that are Alabama fans that have been initially were all out on Kellen DeBoer.
Yep.
And then all in.
Yep.
And then now the tides are turning a little bit.
Sure. There is traction to where if he loses this game, he could go to Penn State.
Yeah.
I've seen that multiple places from Alabama sources, not just Penn State sources. So, it could be one of those things where if you lose to Auburn here, Alabama's like, hey, man, you need to take that job.
Yeah, that job looks perfect for you.
Yeah. But
I'm so interested in those kinds of storylines because you're talking about the Auburn who fired their head coach after was he there 6 years? 5 years?
5 years.
5 years
Yeah.
with Hugh Freeze and just deciding it was absolutely time to move on from Hugh Freeze. They weren't getting anywhere. They weren't going with it.
So.
Rightfully so, and I don't disagree with that at all. But it's just such interesting. You've got Auburn dealing with their head coaching search. You've got Alabama, who's had an up and down scenario with their head coach, who took over for a legend, which unbelievably difficult position for DeBoer to be in.
Very rarely does it work out this well when you take over for a guy of Nick Saban's caliber that you can kind of continue that momentum.
Yeah. And so the storylines are so
but this
right
is Alabama,
there,
where 9 wins is not acceptable.
Yeah, but they're still what are they ranked? Number 10 in the country?
They are number 10. They're in prime position, man. Again, it's win and you're in.
Yeah.
It's win and you're in. And we'll talk more about that when we make our picks here in a minute, but it's win and you're in for the Tide. Speaking of win and you're in, Ohio State travels to the Big House where they're a 10.5-point road favorite. But Ryan Day is 1-4 against Michigan since taking over. They've lost 4 in a row. The last time they beat Michigan was in Ann Arbor in 2019. 2019. I still had a lot more hair in 2019. But this is not your average game. It's called the game for a reason. It's one of the biggest rivalries, one of the most bitter rivalries in all of the country. Again, Ryan Day is 1-4, but this game last year, they lost 13-10 last year in Columbus, and this served as the catalyst. This was the get-right game for Ohio State, who went on an absolute tear to the national championship. Just beat the brakes off of everybody between them and the national championship. Can they do that again? Michigan has a 10-game advantage over Ohio State. But one thing I'm interested to watch, Kenny, Julian Sayin has had a season feasting on average to a slightly above average defenses. They face an average of the passing defenses they faced are roughly in the top 50 in the country.
Yeah.
Michigan is top 10 in most defensive categories. They're 17th in total defense, and they are the second best in the country or in their conference against the pass.
Wow.
What is Julian Sayin going to do against an actual legitimate defense after feasting on poor defense after poor defense after poor defense? What's it going to look like?
And then you add the extra motivation of it being the game. And you're just like, what is the pressure? What is this pressure? Not only the physical pressure that Michigan's defense is going to give to Julian Sand, but also just a mental pressure of, man, we've got to win this game, right? Like even after last year when Ohio State lost to Michigan and then ultimately went on to win the national championship, there were folks that were still upset that they lost to Michigan.
They were ready to fire Ryan Day before he went on that run. Absolutely.
Right? Like, I mean, it's just – and so this game means everything. And so when you add not only the historical value, but then you add the fact that Michigan's defense will probably be the best defense they've played all year.
Yeah, so at least statistically, it's the best defense they've faced since Washington on September 27th.
Yeah. So that's the question is like, what is a young quarterback going to do out there, right?
Absolutely. Speaking of young quarterbacks, Bryce Underwood was a 5-star recruit, the number one quarterback recruit.
The story
in the
about the NIL money, the story, the Dave Portnoy, the aspect
that flipped
of
him
it,
from LSU
flipped
to
him
Michigan.
from LSU. He has not been awesome this year.
Two stats for you. He's 13 out of 17 qualifying quarterbacks in the conference in completion percentage and 9 out of 17 in yards per attempt.
Yeah.
But the biggest storyline for me in watching this game, Michigan is the second best rush offense in the country. And I love that. I'm an old smash mouth type football guy. I'm a defensive guy by trade. It's what I played growing up. Definitely, I'm a defensive guy, so I love smash mouth football. Michigan's the second ranked rushing offense in the country. Ohio State is the second ranked rushing defense in the country. Kenny, that's going to be the story.
That's
the way Michigan has beat them for the last 4 years is they've slowed the game down. They've put the game in the box, and they have out-physical Ohio State. Ohio State is getting Carnell Tate, the receiver, back, getting Jeremiah Smith back for this game, allegedly. Both those guys in this last couple weeks with injury. You get those guys back. Julian Sand needs to stretch the field, keep this defense honest, stretch this game out. Otherwise, Michigan has shown that they can clearly out-physical you. So you need to be able to show that you can play with Michigan, and you do that by taking the top off the defense. Then you'll open some running lanes.
Man, I can't wait for this game.
Buddy, cannot wait. It used to be a cannot wait. Right here in the great state of Tennessee, we have a massive game in Knoxville. Vanderbilt travels to Tennessee, where Tennessee's only a 2.5-point home favorite on FanDuel. Both teams are ranked for the first time in what is going to be their 119th meeting.
So crazy.
Which is wild to me. Vanderbilt has a puncher's chance to make the playoff, but they've got to win tonight. In my opinion, Diego Pavia has done everything he needs to do to be invited to New York City as a Heisman finalist. He's completed 72% of his passes, passed for 2,924 yards, 26 touchdowns, rushed for another 661, and scored 8 touchdowns. Joey Aguilar has thrived in his Josh Heupel offense. He's passed for over 3,100 yards, 23 touchdowns, and has been killing it for this offense. But what's got to give? Vandy is the 9th best scoring offense in all of football and 19th in total yards. The Tennessee secondary has been shaky at best. Diego Pavia has won games this year both ways, running the ball and then airing it out against Auburn. And so that's what's going to be the difference, is what Diego Pavia we need. Does he need to run the ball? Because Tennessee's been decent against the run. But if he can stretch that field, I think Vanderbilt can win this game.
Just a personal note on this game. Anytime Tennessee's involved, I want whatever happened, please Vanderbilt by 70.
Yeah, same, dude. I hate Tennessee. I've hated Tennessee. I grew up an Alabama fan, and so I hated Tennessee. I hated Fat Phil Fulmer. I hate everything that university represents. It's not even that good orange. It's like the inside of a pumpkin orange.
Yeah.
There's always that joke that Tennessee picked orange as a color so they could wear it on Saturday and they pick it up trash on the side of the highway on Monday.
Yeah.
Like, I hate Tennessee. So I am all in on Diego Pavia. Clark Lee, who Lane Kiffin should have took a note from.
Yeah, didn't he just agree to an extension?
A 6-year extension to stick around. Shout out Clark Lee. He played at Vanderbilt. He loves Vanderbilt. He has agreed to stick around for a while.
Let's go.
Which basically means that multiple people are getting screwed. Florida has already said, look, we're out of the Lane Kiffin mess. It is what it is. They're looking at Jed Fish from Washington, which would be a decent hire. But with Clark Lee staying, Drink is staying in Missouri, it's getting kind of dicey for LSU and for Ole Miss. John Summerall's still out there. He's going to go to one of the jobs there that are open for sure. But it's getting dicey for whoever gets left out of the Lane Kiffin song and dance. But Clark Lee did silence the rumors. But good luck silencing that Tennessee crowd at 120,000
man.
strong. I've been to a game. Mississippi State went up there.
Is
my
it pretty
junior
awesome?
year.
Is it awesome?
It's so loud. And like for weeks after, I'd hear Rocky Top in my head because they play it after every first down, big play, touchdown, completion. Like they have this little pep band that pops up all over the stadium. And like 2 weeks later, I'm like, Rocky Top.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, I hate that song.
You're like,
it
what
gets
in the
stuck
hell?
In your head. It's like an earworm.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
stuck.
yeah.
And so Diego Pavia tonight needs to silence that crowd early if they're
Yeah.
going to get a big road win against the Vols and vault themselves. Like, make it impossible for the committee to leave you out. Dude, because I'm telling you right now, it's Mississippi State. We're done for the year. I'd anchor down hardcore for them to get in the playoffs.
So one of the things, when you have a guy like Diego Pavia on your team, a guy who is
Sidebar, I love Diego Pavia. He gets a lot of help and flack for how much crap he talks.
Whatever.
But like, I love Diego Pavia.
whatever. We also root for a team that has John Morant on it, so we don't give a shit about
No,
any
we
of
do
that.
not. So give me more Diego Pavia.
Yeah, like I want
Dude's a
all
winner.
the smoke,
Please.
all the heat, whatever. Because here's the thing, he backs it up,
He backs it up.
right? Like this is the kind of kid that like he is a physically gifted player, but it's his will and determination. And so if you're talking about Vanderbilt, who needs a win to cement their place in the college football playoff, which would be such an amazing turnaround for a program like Vanderbilt,
Wow.
who has been the bottom dwellers of the SEC for as long as I've been alive.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's 44. I mean, that's almost damn near half a century, bro.
Again, Tennessee and Vanderbilt have played for 119 times. So do the math. They play once a year. It's 119 years.
Yeah.
This is the first time both teams have been ranked. And Tennessee's been ranked
A
consistently.
lot.
Yeah.
A lot. But if there's a team that I could think of that could go into Knoxville and in a rivalry week kind of game, silence that place, it's absolutely Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt.
Because he gets compared a lot to Johnny Manziel, and Manziel's in his corner. He wears the jersey. He goes to Vandy games. I get that. But to me, he gives more Baker Mayfield because
Yes,
he talks to
yes.
talk, but he backs it up.
Backs it up.
He goes and wins games. Manziel won big games. He
Manziel-
won in Alabama, but he
Manziel
couldn't
was fine.
quite. Like
Yeah.
again, you look back; those A&M teams never could get over the hump. Like,
Right.
he was the best player on a 9-win team, and like Vanderbilt has got an opportunity to win 10 games first time in forever, and probably at least since color television was invented.
Right.
And you got an opportunity to go play for the college football national championship.
gosh.
Dude, give me all the Diego Pavia. But we're going to pick those games right after this last commercial break. Just on the other side, we're going to pick against the fan.
Producer Kenny
Producer Ken, I'm like, man, what is happening?
Producer Kenny messed it all up.
Perfect segue to commercial, and Kenny going to hit end stream or leave studio instead of turning the commercial on. But after this commercial break, we're going to pick against the FanDuel spread.
In Memphis, we know a thing or two about resilience. From the grindhouse to the Delta, we protect what's ours. But when pests invade your home, it's time to fight back. Grade A Pest knows how to handle what crawls, flies, and bites. With local experience and guaranteed results.
I'm Reggie with Grade A Pest Control. We service the Memphis metro area. That also includes DeSoto and Fayette County as well.
Grade A Pest has the entire Mid-South covered. So if bugs and pests put you to the test, let Grade A solve your problem. We've been pretty harsh on him on Bluff City Media. I think a lot of media folks have been rather harsh on him just because the level of inability to do productive things out there has been very, very concerning for this team. I'm just glad to see that for Aaron. He needed a game like that to get back to not what I think like he's never been that guy in college basketball. He's never been a guy that you can trust in college basketball.
No.
But at this level, he should be. Man, like what are the like if your expectations are that this team is going to be a team that is as talented and is as good as what we've seen in the past under Penny Hardaway's teams, then I think you're going to be in for a long season. But I do think Penny Hardaway is a good enough coach to get the most out of this team possible.
Right.
And for a guy like Aaron Bradshaw, the biggest win for me tonight is just seeing him produce. Is just seeing him something out there.
Tune in to Tigers Live with Francis Carlotta, live after every Memphis Tiger basketball game on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. In the heart of the Highland Strip for 27 years, Trilogy Tattoo has helped tell stories for Memphians for generations. Located at 530 South Highland, Richie and his team are waiting to help you tell yours.
From tattoos to piercings, your body art should be as unique as you are. Voted a Memphis Flyer top 3 tattoo shop in the city of Memphis since day one. Your story will be safe here at Trilogy Tattoo.
Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11, and 3 to 11 on Sundays. They have convenient times waiting on you. Let Trilogy Tattoo help you tell your story.
Welcome back to College Football Fridays here at Grind City Brewing, your home for all things college football as we're heading into the playoff. We've only got more events coming up, including some big things coming. So y'all stay tuned to the socials. But Kenny, we got a bone to pick.
Yeah, I got a little bone to pick, man. I love this dude. Like, this is one of my favorite guys.
Of my boys. I've been on a podcast, his podcast with him. I love this dude to death.
Yeah, like Tigers Live is one of the most fun shows we do. It's the post-game show for Memphis Tiger basketball.
Yeah.
But Francis Carlotta came in the comment section. He says, Memphis Tigers basketball has my college basketball heart. Michigan Wolverines football has my college football heart. Go blue.
Buddy.
Buddy. What?
I mean, that'd be like me rooting for Mississippi State football and then rooting for like North Carolina basketball.
Yeah, like I love Arizona football. Like I'm a big fan of like what? Where is it?
World.
What is this from, Francis?
Come on, Francis. Like I'm gonna need some like some details on this because like my guy, like you got to live and die with your university. Like I mean, Mississippi State bad at basketball, bad at football. We're a great baseball program, but I live and die maroon and white. So
that's right.
I'm gonna need some justification.
We need to know what's going on with Francis Carlotta.
Yeah,
he is the man. He's also living in California right now, so
maybe that's what it is.
That could be a part of it.
The sun's got his brain warped.
The sun's got his brain. The beautiful weather has his brain warped over there.
I could get that. But before we get out of here in this final segment, we're going to make our picks against the FanDuel spread. Same order that we previewed them in, starting with the Iron Bowl. Alabama travels to Jordan-Hare Stadium as a 5.5-point road favorite. Kenny, who you taking in the Iron Bowl?
I got to go with Alabama, man. I think that for any other reason other than I just think they have Auburn has been a team of disarray this year. They've struggled. This is the Iron Bowl, so crazy stuff could happen,
buddy.
But I'm still picking Alabama -5.5.
So this ain't the Alabama defense of old.
Yeah.
But they're still damn good. They are top 10 in scoring defense, passing defense, total defense. I was 100% out on Alabama after the Florida State debacle. I've never seen Alabama linebackers get blown up like that. Defensive line getting that pushed that far back, and Alabama defense getting that out physical. And so I was out on Alabama. I'm not in the Iron Bowl. I think Alabama wins this game. They flex. They make a statement that they are going to Atlanta, and I think that Alabama plays for an SEC championship. Give me the Tide to cover handily.
All right, so then that leads us to – I don't have a graphic for it. But we'll go back to the preview, Texas A&M, Texas graphic. If you got Alabama beating Auburn in the Iron Bowl to play in the SEC championship next week, do you have Texas A&M going to Texas and beating Texas to play them in the SEC championship game?
Nope.
You got Texas winning that game?
Texas is
outright.
Home archman. Give me Texas to cover.
Outright.
Give me Texas money line.
Whoa.
Give me a rematch
Whoa.
of Alabama and Georgia in the SEC
Whoa.
championship game. Because the way it would fall, it would be based on strength of schedule, and it would be Alabama and it would be the toughest strength of schedule between Georgia, Ole Miss, and A&M, which would fall to the Bulldogs.
Wow.
I think Texas takes care of business. Arch Manning's been a whole lot better down the stretch.
Wow.
I think they found something defensively. I think they can force Marcel Reed to make some turnovers. No, they haven't been great on the season, but they've gotten better as of late. Give me the Longhorns in Austin.
Well, I have it on good authority that Georgia assistant coaches have the College Football Saturday show in their earphones, in their headphones.
Yeah.
They should listen to what you just said and start playing Georgia Tech. It's 3-0 Georgia Tech in the second quarter right now.
Georgia didn't get into Yellow Jacket territory until 14 minutes left in the second quarter. They just tied it up with a field goal 3-3, but they didn't get into Tech territory until the second quarter. Kenny.
Bro, this is for the SEC championship, right?
So Georgia would be in regardless because it's not a conference game.
Okay.
But they need this game to stay relevant because say you lose here, then you lose in the SEC championship game. I don't know that they put in a Georgia team like that into the college ball playoff. I think that helps Tech a lot more. So give me the Longhorns to win at home.
All right, let's go.
We got the game next. We got Ohio State travels to Michigan. Ohio State is a 10.5-point favorite, traveling to face the Maize and Blue. Again, Ryan Day is 1-4 in his 5 seasons. The last time they won was in Ann Arbor in 2019 in a blowout win. Last year, they lost 13-10. Michigan's been able to slow the game down, like I said, and out-physical Ohio State for the last 4 years. I think Ohio State wins, but I'm taking Michigan to cover. I think Michigan's defense is good enough to keep this game close, to keep this game between the 20s and a lot of field goals. I don't know that they're going to be able to get the explosive plays, they being Ohio State, that they've gotten in other games because Michigan's defense is good. Give me the Wolverines to cover. 10.5 is a big number in a rivalry game.
Yeah, it's a rivalry game, so that 10.5 number is crazy to me. But if Ohio State needs to stretch the field to get it out from the trenches to be able to win this game, then you're talking about your 2 wide receivers that have been injured for the last couple of weeks, right?
They are those dudes, though.
But they are those guys, and if they're back like that, they're not going to miss the game. They're not going to miss this game. But are they compromised? Is their ability to get down the field compromised?
I did see some rumblings that they were maybe taking some time off because they can in a down conference because they played Rutgers and some of these games kind of leading up. It's almost like some rest time in the NBA.
That could be the case. 100%.
Could be the case. I'm not saying that it is, but it could be.
Yeah.
But I hear your point. Are they going to be, no pun intended, are they going to be a little rusty coming back to this game?
And once again, this Michigan-Ohio State game, you can literally almost toss everything out the window when it comes to this game and just the rivalry that is this game. Ohio State has been the better team for a while.
Oh, buddy.
What's that?
Breaking news.
Uh-oh.
Lane Kiffin sought out a podcaster and reporter and got in his face after the Ole Miss Mississippi State game because he didn't appreciate the line this week. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife when talking about Lane Kiffin and keeping him in Ole Miss.
Damn.
First of all, shout out to you, sir. That is an incredible pull. That is a bar against Lane Kiffin. Also, you're not wrong. But Lane Kiffin apparently got pretty salty about it and sought him out. So let's add to the drama.
Lane Kiffin's such a weirdo.
Yeah, but killer line.
Killer line. And it's not, dude, you've
earned it.
Your team is good enough to withstand your shenanigans, but you very clearly try to tank this thing.
Yeah.
And it's egregious moves. But I think Ohio State is going to win this game, but I don't think. I think the minus 10.5 is wild.
It's a big number.
So I will say Michigan covers, Ohio State wins.
I like it.
I'll agree with you on that.
I like it. Last one of the day, big rivalry game here in the SEC, here in this great state that we call home. Vanderbilt travels to Neyland Stadium as a 10.5-point road underdog. Kenny, have I taught you into Vanderbilt?
Oh, absolutely.
Let's go.
I would have been into Vanderbilt. Just on petty's sake.
Absolutely.
This probably is not one. I would too much emotion would go into this bet for me because I cannot stand Tennessee, and so I am going to choose to bet. I'm going to choose Vanderbilt. Absolutely. I think they win outright. I think they win. I think they beat Tennessee tonight. I think, tomorrow? Is it tomorrow? Tomorrow. I think they beat Tennessee tomorrow. I think Vanderbilt all the way. But I would never bet it because it would all be purely emotion.
I'm about to say, because you can look at the stats, right? Tennessee is the 4th best offense nationally, scoring offense and total offense in the country. Vanderbilt is the third best running defense in the country, but they're 134th against the pass.
Yeah.
But we ain't talking stats. We're talking rivalry week. We're talking passion. We're talking pride. We're talking hatred. We're talking I hate you more than I hate losing.
Right.
Give me the doors to cover. Give me the doors money line.
Ooh.
I think Vanderbilt wins this thing outright and
Outright.
makes the committee sweat. I
I
don't
love
know that the committee has the balls to put in a 10-2 Vanderbilt team, but let's make it happen. Give me the doors.
Make them make that choice.
Absolutely.
Like make that. You do everything you can possibly do, Vanderbilt, and make them say no to you.
That's it, because chaos can happen, right? Ole Miss is lost. Georgia's kind of struggling here. Alabama's got to travel to Auburn. You got A&M going to Texas. There is so many variables that could fall your way, but it doesn't matter if you don't go take care of your business.
Got to.
Go freaking win that game, man. Diego Pavia do Pavia things, play good enough defense to win, and punch your ticket to the college football playoff, buddy. I
Freaking
will
love
be
it.
anchor all the way down.
I'm going to be
if they
cheering
make it
massively for Diego Pavia and the Vanderbilt Commodores.
Absolutely. But that's going to do it for me and my guy, Kenny Stubblefield, man. Thank y'all for being here. Kenny, thank you for being here with me today, buddy. Appreciate Sane going live here from Grind City Brewing. It's a beautiful day. The crowd is picking back up as we kind of had that shift change between games. It is still a beautiful day the beautiful land in the world, as one said.
Tell me about what's going on out here, bro.
Buddy.
So we're at Grind City Brewing, and I was talking about it on the Anthony show. Like, it's this beautiful hangar that's like this tap room that is just right next to the river. You see the pyramid. You see the end bridge right here. But they've got some construction going on over here.
Dude, we're so excited about this. So they are building an amphitheater that is going to be their home for live music. They host the Grind City Fest. They host a lot of music here. They get some good acts here as well. But they have broken ground on their amphitheater kind of in the southwest corner of the lot out here.
Yeah.
They're going to have a big stage, be able to host more music, going to host more events here. Grind City Brewing is not only your home for the best beer in Memphis, but the best venue, weddings, receptions, rehearsal dinners, high school reunions. They're going to have musical events here. Like, big things are coming. They broke ground. They're expecting that to be open sometime next year. I believe he said summer is kind of what they're looking at. But they have broke ground on it, doing a ton of construction here, man. It is only going to get better here at Grind City Brewing. And we need more of that here in Memphis.
Yes.
Need more of that here in Memphis.
Absolutely.
Sure. Y'all coming out to Grind City Brewing. We're going to be here for a while longer. We got Georgia Tech on the projector with sound now. Afterwards, we got A&M in Texas tonight at 6:30 on the projector. Y'all come hang out. But for my guy, Kenny, I'm Rusty Whitten here for Bluff City Media. Appreciate y'all being here. We'll see y'all back on Monday. Y'all have a good weekend.